My bad. Let's start it again. What up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Chef. We are back. You already know what time it is. It is time for episode number 70 of the YAK Pod. Shout out to my man, Just a Fan, in the YAK Pod chat, who has reminded me to share the stream, and the stream has been shared. So, I did this a while back, and we're going to do it again. It's called X Marks the Spot. We're talking Twitter takes. We are talking about some ridiculous things that I have seen on Twitter, or X as it is now called. What is going on, John F. and Lord? We are about to get cooking, because today we're going to start with a few things. Now, 'tis the season for stupid lists, and I know we've seen the list, and this list has Kevin O'Connell over Dan Campbell. I'm not even going to get into the entire list. Kevin O'Connell over Dan Campbell makes absolutely no sense. Dan Campbell and Kevin O'Connell have faced each other 4 times. One of those coaches has won 3 times, and the other one has won 1 time. Now, based on this list, you would think that Kevin O'Connell has won 3 times and Dan Campbell has won 1 time. But that is not the case. It is the other way around. Dan Campbell's team has beat Kevin O'Connell's team 3 out of 4 times. However, Kevin O'Connell is a better coach than Dan Campbell, according to this list. Now, I am not what you would say, a member of the media. I'm a fan that puts his opinions out there, even though some people say I don't have the courage to do so. But I do every day, 5 days a week. These media members who are making these lists, if they are real media members, they're generally people who have a platform and they're verified. We have to check to see if they're credentialed or not. Do they actually work for a team? On all these different things. Stop. Just stop. Stop making these lists. Stop being hot take artists. Just use facts. Don't use conjecture and innuendo and all of these different things that you're using to make these lists, because they don't make any sense. They make no sense at all. Mike Marker, what's going on, man? Glad to see you here. These lists don't make any sense. Kevin O'Connell, head-to-head with Dan Campbell, has a losing record. So I don't know how you put... And these are division rivals. This is the thing. It's not like they don't see each other twice a year. And he's not doing well. He's not doing well. So... I don't understand this list. Obviously Sean McVay was number 1 on the list. Kyle Shanahan's number 2. You could put Sean McVay over Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan doesn't have a Super Bowl. And obviously Dan Campbell almost beat Sean McVay, but that's neither here nor there. We're not going to talk about that. It's too soon. What are we cooking today, Flex? We are cooking Twitter reactions. So the second thing that I want to get to, and this isn't from Twitter. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. DJ Chark. DJ Chark is not a bad receiver. He's actually pretty good. And we know he has 4.34 speed, blah, 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 blah. And all of these things. I understand why Lions fans wanted DJ Chark back. Here's the thing. If we're going to look at some stats from DJ Chark's career, we will notice that he misses a lot of games. And that's the thing. He misses games. So what was it? I had it here. Anyway, I've lost it. But basically, it was like the first year of his career, He played 15 games, then 13 games, then 4 games, then 11, then 15. Right? That last 11 was the year before last when he played for the Detroit Lions. He played 11 games for us. He had 30 receptions, 52 targets, 503 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Something like that. 16.7 yards per catch. Now, I only looked at that once. That just shows you how great my memory is, right? I only looked at that one time. I mean, is he the missing piece for this? No, he's not the missing piece. And I understand, like I said, I'm not going to deny the talent. I'm not going to say he's a bad receiver, but it's just he played 11 games for us. He played 11 games for us. He missed 6. Quick math, right? 17-game season. 11 plus 6 is 17. We didn't go to the playoffs that year. It's just another Jonah Jackson situation. Jonah Jackson played in 11 games for us. He missed 6, and one of these 6 that he missed was the most important game of our season, which was the NFC Championship game. Now, he wasn't really a factor is because his replacement, he led us to what was 100. We had 100 plus yards rushing in the first half of that NFC Championship game, like 150 or something like that. We went crazy without Jonah Jackson. So Jonah Jackson walked and he got his $17 million a year from the Rams. And it is what it is. I wasn't trying to bring him back anyway. Yes, thank you, Flex, the GOAT of the chat. Smash that like button. Share the stream yourself. All right. Thank you, Josephan, for reminding me to share the stream. But so the DJ Chark thing, like I said, I get it. But it just wasn't, there was a question on the heavies today. Shout out Easy. Did the Lions miss out on DJ Chark because he signed a 1-year, $5 million deal with the Chargers? Now, was that expensive? It was not. So that's why the question was asked, did we miss out on him? We didn't miss out on DJ Chark. We did not. We just didn't. Okay? DJ Chark had his moment in the sun, his 11 games for the Detroit Lions. He stretches the field, but so does Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is also younger. The injury history for Jameson Williams doesn't exist inside of the NFL. It just doesn't. What's going on, John? So what do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think about DJ Chark? Do you think we missed out on him? Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? Let me know. And the next topic that we are going to get to is one of my favorite topics. Justifan says no. 3 times no. We did not miss out on DJ Chark. Again, like I said, he played 11 games for us. Chark with the Chargers. Nope. Glad he's not available anymore. Thank you, David Barton. I'm also glad that he's not available anymore so we can stop hearing fans cry about DJ Chark. Melvin was better. Okay. All right. So, good. We're all in agreement that we did not miss out on DJ Chark. Now, my next topic is one of my favorite things to get to. He had a few great moments, but not a consistent go-to guy. Right. The consistency wasn't there as far as the play and the amount, the availability, So the good thing about last year was that he played in 15 games. He only missed 2. But that's his ceiling. He's never played a full season. He's always going to miss something. I want ice cream. Is the Detroit Lions gonna give me some? David Barton. David Barton. So as I said, the next one, and anybody that knows me knows this topic irks me. It irks me to no end. And this topic is Jeff Okudah. All right. This topic is Jeff Okudah. Now, I'm not gonna to say anybody's name. I'm just gonna do it this way. We're gonna look at some of the tweets from this thread. Now, there was a thread started by someone on X. Okay? And this person says, let's hear it. What's the reasoning behind why Jeff Okudah didn't pan out as a number 3 pick? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I said first. I said because he's bad at football, he has bad technique and doesn't have body control discipline. I've never seen a corner that should be a linebacker more urgently than Okudah. But then you'd have to worry about him knocking out his teammates. You guys remember that game when he knocked out Kirby Joseph? He concussed him. And then it was someone else in the same game that he knocked out. I don't remember who it was exactly, but it was someone else. All right. Did he play? He didn't play well for any seasons when he was in Detroit. His nickname should have been Burnt Toast. He's bad. All right. Just a Fan says he was grabby and slow. Don't think he worked enough, or maybe he's just a bust. Right? It's possible. But here's the thing. This is the type of thread that caused me to put my phone down and close Twitter and go do something else. Okay? Burnt toast. All right. Now, no, not for the record. There were 3 comments that I saw, 3 replies that I saw that were actually laying blame on Jeff Okudah for not working out. Everything else was not Jeff Okudah's fault. 4 reasons. Matt Patricia, defensive coordinator Corey Underlin, DB coach Steve Gregory, defensive assistant Tony Carter. Now, when you are blaming a defensive assistant, what is your job as a defensive assistant? Yeah, it's Jeff Okudah. What's your job as a defensive assistant? I'm not sure what Tony Carter was supposed to do. You have the defensive coordinator, you have the DB coach, which works with the DBs. The defensive assistant? All right. So the next person says health and coaching. Okay, the health thing we can actually talk about. We can actually say, okay, health was an issue for him. I think his first year he had a groin injury. The second year he had I think it was a knee injury, and then the third year he tore his Achilles getting burnt by Deebo Samuel. So we can talk about health. Patricia is a curse. He's a curse, and he's a curse word. The rocket scientist. Someone says Matt Patricia. Someone says coaching. Then at some point it just became too late. Looked promising at the beginning of 2022, but then it fell off pretty quick. The head coach during the time, which shall not be named, ruined him. That fat guy who keeps a pencil on his ear is the reason why. Quinn Trisha era. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, Okudah shouldn't have been drafted that high, which 100%. bad system fit, couldn't stay healthy or play man coverage. Now, someone said he's not built for this. Absolutely. I'm trying to find one. Because this is the one that killed me. Someone said because he didn't play alongside a number one corner, he was expected to be the number one corner as a rookie. Will never work out. This year looks promising. Like he still thinks Jeff Okudah is on his third team? So he went from the Lions to the Falcons and then to the Texans. Now he did 1 year on the Falcons and wasn't brought back. Then he got signed by the Texans. So after not being brought back after 1 year and then you sign with another team, how does that look promising? If it was looking promising, don't you think that the team that had him last year would have brought him back? I mean, am I crazy here or he said I auctioned off Patricia's pencil. I had to pay $10. All right. Someone says Jess wasn't as good as he projected to be. Like I said, so we've got two comments that have blamed him. This guy says I also want to know because he's a Texan now. LOL. Well, hey man, you're in for a rude awakening if Jeff Okudah becomes your starter because you have injuries to the rest of your corners. Now, here we go. This guy says his injury was massive. He was progressing well before that. How? How was he progressing well? Someone please tell me how Jeff Okudah was progressing well by being burnt toast. He was being burnt toast. That's not progressing. The one game that people believe that he had, they believe because they don't pay attention. All right. I'm not going to say anything about watching film or anything like that. Obviously, that's more advanced for some people, but they don't pay attention. He locked down Justin Jefferson. No, he did not. He did not lock down Justin Jefferson. He had safety help. He had safety help over the top the entire game. Every rep that he went up against Justin Jefferson, every time they passed the ball, he had safety help over the top. And the quarterback did not want to put the ball in harm's way and throw picks trying to force the ball to Justin Jefferson. So his stat line was pedestrian. That wasn't because of Jeff Okudah. All right? That wasn't because of Jeff Okudah. Because if you remember now, the next week after he came off that game, they asked DK Metcalf about him. And DK Metcalf said he's all right, but, he had safety help. He said that. And then Aaron Glenn was like, well, I guess you're up. And he was like, go ahead and lock him up. Show him you're a dog. DK Metcalf treated him like he was his dog, like his pet. You understand? He went for like 140 and a touchdown on Jeff Okudah. Okay, so no, that wasn't the case. He said Okudah couldn't lock down his bike. Hey, I'm with you there. Where is it? This guy says, he still has time. He played well last year. Okay. All right. Where is it? This is the one. Are you guys ready? I'm about to read it. So if you guys are drinking anything, if you have drinks up to your mouth, if you have anything in your mouth that you're consuming, whether it be water, whatever, juice, Kool-Aid, maybe, please swallow it. Please put your cup down. Okay? Because if you're eating anything, put your plate down. Okay? Does he need to call 1-800-STAY-OUT? Well, as long as he stays out of Detroit, hey. All right. So here is the one. Injuries didn't allow him to play the best man coverage he was highly skilled at. Jeff Okudah was highly skilled at man coverage in the NFL. Jeff Okudah was highly skilled at man coverage. What player were you watching? I just lost the brain. So what player were you watching? Jeff Burnt Toast Okudah was highly skilled at man coverage. Like I said before, Jeff Okudah has bad technique. He has bad feet. He has bad body control. None of those things None of those things allow you to be highly skilled at playing man coverage. If you are man cover corner, you have to have good feet. You have to have body control. You have to have good technique. Now, we love the Terrion Arnold pick. And I've gone on record as saying that Terrion Arnold, just like most of the top picks, even Dallas Turner, they've got a lot of development to do. They've got a lot of room to improve. Unlike Jared Verse, he's pretty complete. You know, obviously nobody's perfect coming out of college, but Jared Verse is pretty complete. I'm gonna stop talking about Jared Verse. I'm gonna have another meltdown. He said he was talking about his Madden game skills. But anyway, when we're talking about Terrion Arnold, right? Terrion Arnold has some deficiencies in his man coverage. He can miss on the punch or the jam, and once he does that, he can cross his feet and get out of position. And this is something that you can fix. Okay? This is something that you can fix. You're telling me that Jeff Okudah played at the University of Ohio State and he was supposed to be this lockdown corner. Like, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I've said this before. And people don't believe it, but you have to believe it. Because I watch every Michigan Ohio State game. I haven't missed one. Even ones I planned to miss when Michigan was bad, and I was like, they're going to get stomped. Even those ones, I still watched. And Jeff Okudah was playing in that era. I didn't know who Jeff Okudah was. When they were like, oh, the Lions are going to draft Jeff Okudah, or when they drafted him, I don't know if it was, I think it was leading up to the draft when the thought process was there that they were going to draft him, because I needed to know who he was. I didn't know who he was. David Barton. Anyway, so I didn't know who he was. And I had to look him up. I had to look up his film, and I wasn't blown away. And when we picked him at number 3 overall, I knew it was a bad pick. Instantly knew it was a bad pick. Now, I did want Isaiah Simmons, but the reason that I wanted Isaiah Simmons was because he was like a Swiss Army knife, and Patricia and all those people were preaching versatility. There you go, just a fan. I said versatility instead of versatility. All right, but they were preaching they needed this versatile player. Blah 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 blah. So I'm looking at a linebacker who's also a safety, who's also a cornerback, who's who's also a defensive end, and I'm like, he runs a 4-3. If you're picking at number 3, this has to be the guy. Now, understanding that Isaiah Simmons hasn't necessarily panned out, him going to the Lions at the time probably wouldn't have been a great pick either. But Justin Simmons has only been on 2 teams, and Jeff Okudah has been on 3. Justin Simmons was picked after Jeff Okudah. So, that's just something to tell you there. But, again, we talk about Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold has things that he can fix, but we've seen him lock down Ladd McConkey, who's supposed to be like the greatest route runner in the history of football. We've seen him be a ball hog, having 5 interceptions last year. We've seen his position versatility, being able to play safety, being able to play outside, being able to play in the slot. We've seen all of these things from Terrion Arnold, which is why there is so much excitement for Terrion Arnold, because of the potential that he has. Jeff Okudah, highly skilled in man coverage, makes no sense to me. From day one, he was bad in man coverage. From day one, he was getting burnt. From day one, his interception against DeAndre Hopkins was because he was in the trail position. He had already been burnt. And Kyler Murray threw a ball that was behind DeAndre Hopkins. That's what happened. That's what happened. If Kyler Murray puts that in front of DeAndre Hopkins, Jeff Okudah doesn't get that interception. And we lost that game. And he went to Twitter, because I think it was still Twitter back then. He went to Twitter and started chirping at the fans, telling us to keep that same energy. Now, why would he need to be chirping at the fans? Because he was bad. He was bad, and the fans were not happy with him. Up to that point, he had been bad. And I think that was the 3rd or the 4th game of the season? I think that was the 3rd, 4th game of the season. And the fans were already out on you. It hadn't even been a whole season. Once I saw that one, I got off Twitter. And it would have made me feel better if I would have gone down 2 more, because the next person, not the next person, but the person after that says he can't cover with a question mark. Like, that's a huge reason why a cornerback won't work out in the NFL, because he cannot cover. He just can't. Can't cover. John Lord, why do you feel bad for Max Crosby? Because they don't have a good QB. I don't know, man. I don't know about the Raiders. What I would hope for the Raiders is that they're patient with Antonio Pierce, especially because they don't have a quarterback. Max Crosby wanting to be on a winning team would mean that he would probably need to take less money because his contract is not helping him be on a winning team. if he were to come to the Lions, that contract it just wouldn't. I'm one of the people that says the NFL contract, the salary cap's not real. And then if you look at like Amon-Ra St. Brown's contract, he's supposed to get $30 million, and he's only going to see $15.7 million of that. Now, tell me I'm supposed to make $30 million and give me $5 million, and I'm happy. I don't care, okay? Because $5 million is something that I don't have, and I definitely would not sneeze at it. So if you're telling me, okay, my contract is $15 million and after taxes and agent fees, or my contract is $30 million and after taxes and agent fees, I'm going to get almost $16 million. It sucks that you're going to take $14 million from me, but it's awesome to be able to say, well, you're going to take $14 million away from me and give me $16 million. Okay. I would take that any day of the week. Now, obviously you want to have the full $30 million, but take away 14, leave me with 16. I have no problem with that, because I don't have 16 right now. I could put something on it, but I don't have 16 million. What is going on in the chat? Loved him in Detroit. John F. Lord says, hide your kids and hide your wives. David Barton says, I'll take 800,000. Me too. Exactly, John Lord. I'm on the same program. If I had 15 million, there would be land that I would own in different countries. As y'all already know, I'm in a different country. So I would just have land wherever I wanted it, and put things on it, and that way my kids could go and just be where they wanted to be. And hey, it is what it is. But so with the Max Crosby thing, I mean, there are ways for that contract to be reworked. If you guys remember the year that Matthew Stafford was traded, I think they converted his like full salary for that year to a signing bonus. So he basically had a $1 million contract or cap hit, and he took $60 million. Like, he just took it with him because they gave it to him as a signing bonus. So Ireland, Denmark, Mexico, Canada. I actually did some coaching out in Denmark for a couple of summers. Did a guest coaching spot. It was pretty cool. I coached DBs and running backs. Yes, when cup him as a that's the new meta. Cup him, right? Cup Stafford. When he asked to be traded and needed closure, well, his wife needed closure, which I didn't understand that one. But yeah, and Denmark is awesome. Denmark is an awesome place. Funny story. So I used to have a sports consultancy business, and what we were into basically was international football. If you guys don't know, there's an organization called IFAF, which is the International Federation of American Football. So we were based in Qatar. That's where I was working and living at the time. And we were the first people to bring full contact football to Qatar. There is no more there after we left. We hooked up with these American guys in Dubai. They had a full contact league going on. So basically what we were doing is we had 4 games. and we had our team was like 15 to 18-year-olds, so it's kind of like high school football, right? So we had 4 games that season. We flew to Dubai for 2 games, and they flew to Qatar for 2 games. And so basically what happened after that, we were going to get new jerseys, because I contacted this uniform designer in Poland, and we had these sick jerseys. I'll next time I'll show you guys if anybody reminds me, because I've got them in my closet right now. And they were going to be what we were the next season. So what happened, no, it was straightforward rules. So what happened was that there was this whole blockade situation that happened in the Middle East with Saudi and Dubai and most of the, Kuwait, all those countries. They blockaded Qatar because Trump said something about them supporting terrorism or something like this. So there was a blockade, so we couldn't go to Dubai anymore, and they couldn't fly to Qatar anymore. So after one season, we were basically removed from the league because of the whole political situation. But it was cool, and it was me and another guy, another American guy. So we are the reason that Qatar is in IFAF. We flew to Kuwait when they were having the IFAF meetings. We presented our case for Qatar to get into the organization. They voted on it. They allowed us in. So if you, in the 2028 Olympics, okay, now they don't have anything going on. The guy that was kind of like the sponsor for the team, he was a Qatari guy who was a snake and a slime ball. And he parlayed that to be the head of the rugby federation, kind of. So if you check out the 2028 Olympics, if you see a flag football team from Qatar, know that the only reason that they were able to compete was because of Chef. Just know that. That's what you need to know. If you see in the 2028 Olympics a flag football team from Qatar, that is Chef. But so anyway, because we had these ties with international teams and stuff like that, we had this one kid. He was our quarterback. He was from Denmark. And he was like, you guys should come out and coach during the summer. So he got in touch with his people in Denmark, and they invited us to come out. So both of us went out the first year. The second year, I went out there with one of our players. He was an American kid, but he was born in Sudan because his father was living in Sudan at the time. I think that's where he was born, or I know that's where he was raised, and then he came to Qatar. He was about I want to say 13, 14 when he came to Qatar. But when I took him out there with me to Denmark, he was 18. So what I was trying to do with him was get him a contract in Denmark. And then it was like, well, you should take him to Sweden because Sweden has more opportunities, and they can have more Americans on their team. Like in Denmark, it was like the rule was, I think you can only have like one American on your team. So who's that? Yeah. It is interesting. It is very interesting. I got tons of stories, but Coach Chef. a memoir of second chances and first take. No, I'm just playing. So basically, they were like, Sweden has looser rules about bringing in foreign players and things like this. So I took him to a couple teams and he had some tryouts and things of this nature. Now we had to go to this one team that was 2 hours away. And the gist of this story is that I could not drive stick. It is a long story, so I'm not going to tell the whole thing. So basically, I'll give you a brief synopsis of it. We went to, this one coach said that me and the player could stay with him in his house. So we got there, he picked us up, took us to his house. We were about to get settled in. His wife came home, and all of a sudden, we couldn't stay there anymore. So we had to go. He was like, listen, I talked to my mom. You can stay at her house. Okay. So we go to his mom's house, and we had to take her to his dad's house, and she was going to give us the car so that we could go to this place. The place was called Slagelse. It's a city which is 2 hours away from Copenhagen, right? I could not drive a stick. Her car was a stick. So she gave me some very brief lessons on the way to taking her to his dad's house so that we could take the car. And basically, I learned how to drive stick on the highway in Denmark, doing like 120 kilometers per hour. So it's about around 70, right? 70 miles per hour in the rain, driving a stick. So that's what happened. That was my interesting story about transporting people to other teams. But the other thing is that was very interesting. If you guys want to check out any of this stuff, our company name was Extra Point Consultancy. And what I did while I was in Denmark is I started a series of player interviews, just to talk to the international players and to see like their stories. Like, how did you get involved in American football? Like, how did you get involved playing? Why did you this, that, and the third thing? So I interviewed a number of people, a number of players from the teams that we were trying out with and things like this. So it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool experience. Yes, the more you know, John, the more you know. So I'll put it in the chat if you guys want to go check out the Instagram. Funny story is I no longer have access to the Instagram because basically my former business partner, I found that he was allowing his son to use the Instagram account to like have DM conversations with like some of our former players. And like, so I woke up one day and like my phone is just going off. It's going off. And I'm looking like, what is going on here? So I'm seeing the conversation unfold. So basically, I locked the account and changed the password. I forgot the password and I don't have access to the email address that we used to create the account with. So that's what happened. So that's why I no longer have access to it. But all the stuff is there. So if you guys want to check it out after the stream or whatever, you can go check that out. So it's a perfect segue. Having coached DBs, having played DB, Jeff Okuda is not it. He's just not it, man. So what were some other things that we saw on Twitter? I guess you guys have seen that the Dolphins have signed Odell Beckham Jr. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Just a fan. Who is that? Are we talking about Odell or are we talking about are we talking about Jeff Okuda? Yeah, he's not very good anymore. Now, this is a guy. See, now if you told me what happened with Odell Beckham, oh, Justin fans talking about Okuda, yeah. if you asked me what happened with Odell Beckham and then you said, well, it was the injuries, 100%. 100%, because he had all the talent in the world. It was immense and undeniable. Now here's a question. Here's a question for you guys in the chat. Were you upset when you saw Odell Beckham his rookie year? Were you more upset that we drafted Ebron instead of him? Were you more upset that we drafted Ebron instead of Aaron Donald? Who were you guys more upset about? I mean, he was Jefferson. He was Jefferson before Jefferson. I think he was like before Jefferson broke his record. I think he was the fastest to however many yards it was. Justifying, you did not want Ebron. Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. No, so I actually was more upset that we didn't get Odell. Because if you remember, we had Sue and Fairley. Right? We had Sue and Fairley. And obviously there were rumblings that Sue was gonna leave, but like we didn't have all the facts. So I'm looking at what Odell's doing in his rookie year, and he dropped another one, bro. So I was looking at what Odell was doing in his rookie year, and I was like, man, can you imagine putting that guy next to Calvin Johnson? I mean, that would have been insane. Like the offense that we're talking about now, we're talking about having all these weapons: Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm like, had we been able to do that? All right, you know what? I actually just had an idea. Let's put together our top, like we're going to try to make an offense like this one, like the one that we have right now. So let's grab players from the Lions past to try to figure out how we could have an offense which is comparable to what we have now. So the first one I'm going to say is Javid Best is Jahmyr Gibbs. Who's Amon-Ra St. Brown? Megatron's not fair in this situation. Because Megatron, like, he's Sam Laporta, he's Jameson Williams, he's Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's like all three of them. So I'm going with Javid Best as Jahmyr Gibbs. Who's Amon-Ra St. Brown? Galladay is St. Brown. Golden Tate is St. Brown. Okay. So we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown is Golden Tate. We have Javid Best is Jahmyr Gibbs. Who's Laporta? Galladay for J-Mo? Two completely different guys. Galladay runs like a 5'6", 40. He's not that slow. All right. But he was closer to a Megatron than he is to J-Mo. You know who else? I'm gonna throw a name out there, and you tell me if he's closer to Amon-Ra or J-Mo. I know he's crazy, but Titus Young. Montgomery, LeGarrette Blount. Montgomery's faster than him, though. Michael LaShore, I guess. Brett Perryman for J-Mo. Titus Young, yeah, but who is he? Is he Amon-Ra or is he J-Mo? I think he's something in between. I don't remember how fast he was. I know he was quick. So Charlie Sanders would be Sam Laporta. Herman Moore was fast. All right, so for all right, we'll do it this way. Let's take a vote. For Amon-Ra St. Brown, we have Golden Tate and we have Titus Young. For J-Mo, we have Herman Moore. Ooh, Johnny Morton. Herman Moore was not as fast as J-Mo, no. It was Johnny Morton as fast. I mean, there weren't a lot of 4.2 speed guys back then. Not too many. You had your Deion Sanders and your Darrell Green and was it Lofton? Who was the track guy? Was it James Lofton? James Lofton? Yeah, but who's J-Mo? Yeah, Lofton for the Bills. So I guess we'll say Johnny Morton is J-Mo. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to find. If I'm being honest, Golden Tate definitely fits Amon-Ra St. Brown more. I would put Titus Young in for J-Mo. I know Titus Young had deep speed. So I would just, because J-Mo is so much different with his speed than anybody else that we had. Oh, you got to Michigan in 2008. Became a hardcore fan after that. Yeah, Young was fast. So we'll put Titus Young as J-Mo. So, I mean, that's a pretty good offense, right? We've got Charlie Sanders for Sam Laporta. We've got Golden Tate for Amon-Ra St. Brown. We have Javid Best for Jahmyr Gibbs. We have Titus Young for J-Mo. Now, we haven't settled on a Monty. I said LeGarrette Blount, but LeGarrette Blount was more of a battering ram, not as fast. Monty has some speed to him, as we saw in that 75-yard touchdown run, and he's also he's hard to bring down. So, all right, Justifan. Hopefully we will see you around on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, we'll see you then. Appreciate you coming out, man. As always. So who's our Monty? Who's our Monty replacement? And no, again, this whole situation with Twitter, it is not Sione Vaki. Sione Vaki is not here to replace. He's not here to replace Monty. So we have Michael LaShore. Michael LaShore, I think, dealt with an Achilles injury. I think that's what cut his career short. Drake Bell. Can we go Drake Bell for Monty? Yeah, let's go Drake Bell. All right. According to my father, Drake Bell is my cousin. So I don't know if it's 100% true, but he knows the family of where Drake Bell came from in Benton Harbor. And he said the Bells are our cousins. So if he's correct, then Drake Bell is my cousin. I've never met Drake Bell. Have you guys heard of Covert, Michigan? It's covert, so you shouldn't have heard of it, but that's where my father is from. And Benton Harbor is down the street from there. So yeah, he knows that family, and this was the information that I got. Mike Marker, you just came to Michigan in 2008, so you're not expected to know Covert. It is a country town, the kind of country town that your next door neighbor lives about a mile away from you. It's that kind of place. So, I would go there on the weekends and things like that. Sometimes, from Detroit. I think it was about an hour and a half type of drive. So yeah, that type of thing. 61 to 98. And then, let me see. I can't see it because this heart thing is there. Yeah, once someone else says something, then they'll see. So 61 to 1998, and then 1990 what? 1991. Okay, to 2007. So where did you go between 88 and 91? Was it back to Springfield? Wisconsin. Okay. Interesting. So that'll do it, guys. So we have our offense golf course shop. Okay, very cool. We have our offense. Maybe next time we'll do a defense. That'll be pretty fun, right? So our offense is David Montgomery is Drake Bell. Javid Best is Jahmyr Gibbs. Titus Young is J-Mo. Charlie Sanders is Laporta. And Golden Tate is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Do we need to do a golf? We can't really do golf because if we do golf, we're gonna have to compare him to. We're gonna have to put some pretty bad quarterbacks. I guess Eric Kramer would be the only one, because we're not doing Scott Mitchell. We're not doing Scott Mitchell at all. Scott Mitchell was a bum, and Scott Mitchell was upset that he was a bum, and he's upset that people, put him as the reason that Barry Sanders didn't win things because he was a bum. You are the reason, Scott Mitchell. Get off the drugs. Barry wasn't perfect. But, get out of here, man. Just go away. Yeah, so that's why I said we'll do Eric Kramer as Jared Goff. That's the only one that we can we can respectfully compare him to. All right, guys. That is it for today, for this week. I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out with me, doing all these lives. I'm going to keep trying to go live at this time. And, just hanging out, man, talking about the Lions. You guys have great weekends as well. Everybody stay safe. And as always, if you did not smash the like button on the way in, smash the like button on your way out. If you didn't share on the way in, share on your way out. If you didn't subscribe on your way in, subscribe on your way out. If you did any of these things, I appreciate you and ask you to keep coming back and hanging out with me in this glorious, illustrious kitchen to talk Lions. And as always, until next time, peace.